What's going on, my eaters? This your boy Chef Drew, aka Chef, aka Big Drew, aka we still talking to Tessa. Y'all, we are so excited that my homegirl Tessa's been with us. We talking about all things. Last week we talked about all things macaroni and cheese, some entrepreneurship stuff, part of her story, and now we gonna get into some of the meat of the entrepreneurial walk for her. We are so excited to bring you this content. Tessa, are you excited to be here?
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you this here content. Let's get into this. What's going on? My homegirl, my friend, my sister, Tessa's here. She is the owner, founder, Bloom Salon and Spa in Noonan, Georgia. Tessa. So we've talked a little bit, last week we talked a little bit about your story to entrepreneurship thus far. We talked about your background. First question I'm gonna ask you is, overall, how do you feel your entrepreneurial walk, your journey here has been so far?
It depends on the day. Like if you ask me after a long week, I'm like, I don't have to do this.
Right. Facts.
You're not really in it for the money.
Right.
People I think they get that a little bit misconstrued.
Like if you start your own business,
yeah,
you're going after the money and
yeah, it's not
yeah.
It's not like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad by any means. I'm just saying it's not really.
The buckets of dough ain't just shoveling in yet.
Shoveling it, you know. Yeah.
Right.
A lot comes in, but a lot goes out.
Right.
So, but no, overall, like I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm in what I call the honeymoon phase of it because I'm in my first 5 months.
Right. Brand new.
So I know people who have owned though for 10 plus years, they still love it. So
yeah.
When you find what you're supposed to do, I think you're supposed to love it.
Yeah.
Overall.
Do you have anyone in your industry who you would say are your mentors or the people you look to for help and guidance in your trade?
Right. So I'm still kind of looking for my community here.
Yeah.
I love the cosmetology industry. They can be some of the most petty people that I've ever probably come across.
Lots of Karens.
Which is a bummer.
Don't be petty.
That's a bummer. So I'm trying to find the right community because I've been asking, like, I need someone who's been in it and salon ownership for a long time.
Yeah.
But in North Carolina, I felt like I did have that.
Yeah.
And that was with my old salon up there, which is where I probably gained a lot of wisdom.
Right.
A lot of growth was from my old boss and then the girl that I worked under.
Okay.
Working up there. So
what has been so far, and we can talk, we can think about, because you've had levels to this now. So
right.
you had when you went independent and then you had when you got your salon. What has been most unexpected for you in this process?
I was not totally prepared for the mental undertaking that this has brought on.
I told y'all last week.
It consumes you if you're not careful. It can consume too much of you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm learning that very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, however, on the bright side of that, I learned my boundaries very quickly.
You have to, right?
You have to, or you'll get lost very quickly if you don't set boundaries. So.
I just said in a previous episode, we talked about health and we talked about the value and the importance of taking care of yourself, setting boundaries, because this walk can consume you and it can consume you quick if you let it. So I'm super glad you just said that for
Yes.
real. What do you feel like, here's another question to piggyback off of that one. What do you feel like entrepreneurship has changed in Tessa as the person?
I think having my son kind of started this, and then having a business really start, like, kind of took me over the edges. I really stopped caring what people think about me.
Yeah.
Because you can't really care. Like, you just have to go. You have to go all in with this, in a sense. And so you really just cannot care about people's. I mean, you have to care about, people that you trust, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're doing something really ridiculous and someone's telling you that you're close to and that you trust, like, that's ridiculous, then I listen. But as far as, like, not everybody needs to be putting in their opinions about you. And I think if you let them, that can kind of muddy the water in a negative way. So really overcoming that, like, fear of what people will think about me.
So for my process, I've talked about before how I had to bring myself to a place where for my business, there was no other options, like my wife or like my babies. Like, I really had to get myself to a place where my business was a non-negotiable. Like, it has to work.
Yeah.
And in getting there, one of the things that has definitely happened is, to an extent, you got to believe in you so much that when the naysayers come, when people come with unsolicited advice, we don't want the unsolicited advice from everybody. Certain people get grace. But when they come with that, you have to know that you know what you're doing, or be confident in your journey.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think people mean well.
Absolutely.
Not everybody, but most people mean well.
Right.
But you got to be careful what you absorb. Sure. Yeah. And hitting on the non-negotiable, kind of that helps you from thinking, oh, what if I fail?
Right.
Like, you just can't you cannot focus on what if I fail. You just have to keep, okay, tomorrow I'm just going to wake up and I'm going to do it. And then the next day, yes, have long-term goals, but just wake up every day and show up and be there and just kind of block the fear out in a sense.
Y'all can see that someone else is saying these things. It's not just me. Tessa has no idea, by the way,
no, I don't.
what is coming at her. This thing is organic, y'all. So, and I want it that way because I want you to get real organic information and feedback. Before we keep this thing going, make sure you guys like and subscribe, do all the things so we can keep bringing you all this wonderful information, all this wonderful food. Tessa, what would you say are your pillars in business for you? Yeah. What are the things that you stand on, you would say are the foundations of everything you do day to day? And they could be anything, just for you in this place.
Yeah, obviously I pray a lot about the business.
So faith,
my faith. And
y'all heard me talk about that before.
Yeah, faith for sure. I don't want to make any moves I'm not supposed to make. That's really important to me. And then the other few is, that's part of our mission statement, is that the basis of everything I feel like we need to do in this industry is like through love. Yeah. And generosity and excellence. Somebody once told me, like, you'll never regret being generous. Yeah. And I have never regretted being generous. There's days where I felt like I should pay for someone's haircut, so I just do a service totally free. Yeah. In my fleshly, like, in my practical mind, I'm like, dang it. But I'm like, maybe they just needed that day. Right. So, but then later I'm like, well, at least I know that I was generous and I felt like I was supposed to be generous. Absolutely. In that moment. And generous with my time, with what I do know, with my girls, my team. So yeah, generosity is a big thing for me.
I was doing a podcast with someone once, and they said to me, the last question was, what would you want your headstone to read? And my response was, he was generous. Yeah. Y'all, if you're good to people and operate in integrity and try and be helpful and try to push people forward and don't walk in just your own agenda, only good can come from that. You're never, like Tessa said, gonna fail or fall for being a blessing, for being generous, for putting someone else before yourself. So, as you know, I'm a chef. Our channel is highly, highly like food, culinary driven. But one of the things for me, why I wanted to bring you on and why I want to bring so many different entrepreneurs on is that the foundation of what we do, whether my product or service is food or your product or service is hair and makeup, the foundation of how to execute is very, very similar. What would you say to the young boy or young girl, the person who's sitting somewhere right now wanting to be a stylist, wanting to be a cosmetologist, wanting to own their own business? What would you say to help encourage them or help them save some time and stress?
I think it can feel a bit overwhelming. I felt when it was the wrong time, I felt overwhelmed by all the details.
Yeah.
But so if you're already if you're wanting to be a stylist, I'll start there. Go to school or start an apprenticeship or work part-time at a salon. Start with a baby. What's one thing that you can do to help you grow or learn, or go to YouTube and watch a video like this one. Just to get just take one step towards it. Yeah. If you're already a stylist, if you already went, I encourage you to go independent before going from commission to salon owner. I'm not saying you have to. It helps you funnel, because when you become independent, you need an LLC. You need insurance. You have to do all that, but it's just for you, so it's not as scary as like having employees and all this. Right. But start with that one step, and then if you're already independent or you're wanting to open your own business, the first thing you want to do is make a business plan. Yeah. Because that's going to help you tackle all the little details and help you not get overwhelmed with like, what do I even start with? So make a business plan. You will always hear, if you pursue entrepreneurship at all, you're always going to hear about a business plan, a business plan, a business plan. This is truth. Yeah. You want to write your vision. You want to put it down on paper. Yes. But this is what I want people to take from this little piece from me, is that your business plan is a roadmap. No, it is. It's not a static thing. It's a living thing. And so you can change it. Sometimes your business will force you to change it. Yes. But the value and the most important part is just making sure you have it. You have that foundation laid to build on and build off. So you said a business plan. Yes. Which, you said go ahead. Sorry. By the way, I literally Googled business plan template, simplest one that I could find, because I'm not this like super I just need a list and I need to follow it and I need. Yeah. So even if it's like the simplest thing of your life, that's it. Anyways. Do it and do it well. Yeah. Even if it's simple. Because I think there are some formats out there where people, it's literally a thing. Like you have the long drawn out business plan, but you have like almost like an outline or a business plan outline of bullets. Either way, just take it serious. Yes. And be truthful in it. Let it work for you as well. Right. So can we talk a little bit about the financial part, the financial responsibility, the financial burdens of starting your own business, because there's costs associated with it. Let's start at the salon. Okay. Because you said when you were independent, you did have the LLC and all that, but it was more logistics at that point because you're working for you, with you. Yeah. For the salon, that you're talking about a brick and mortar space. Right. I know, just because I know you did work in the space to transition it from the former brand to your brand. There's inventory, there's training, there's all of that stuff. There's somebody somewhere who wants to start a business. Yeah. There's a stylist somewhere that has a booth somewhere right now, and she wants her own too. When it came to building out your business, your salon and spa, talk to us a little bit about the money journey, figuring all that out, where'd the money come from, how much. You don't have to give specifics, but ballparks or whatever. Yeah. So people know like this is real money, but you don't necessarily have to be
scared of it.
Right. So I will say I used some of my own savings, and then I took out a line of credit. I didn't want to depreciate my own savings.
Right.
Totally, completely.
Yeah.
If my son wasn't here, I probably would just be like, oh,
right.
go all in.
Throw it all to the wind.
When you have babies, you got to think about them too.
Right.
I would say, if you can do it, plan for like 60,000. You don't have to have that, but looking at my first year's like expenses and everything, I'm like, okay, about 60 would have been like good. And
that's where we are.
Okay.
That can change depending on.
Yeah.
Like if you're in New York City or Miami or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it can change. That's where we are.
Right.
I will say though, there's some things that I've done in my first year that I didn't necessarily have to do.
Yeah.
Like, just my renovation kept me between 20 and 30.
Right.
So, get open. That's what I say. Just get open, get the money coming in, and then you can start crossing off the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Like the smaller things you want to do that aren't necessarily like, just get making money as soon as you can, basically.
Right. Hear what she's saying, y'all, and this is what I took away from what she's saying. For her, you were in a place where you saw the value in doing some renovation, changing the face, turning your salon into what you're envisioning.
Right.
However, if you're not in that place yet, and plus logistically, it almost helps better to do that kind of stuff in the beginning, so you don't have to disrupt a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
But would you say for the person who maybe can't make that happen, but they can get open, would you say wait till you can do the renos and all that, or would you say start making money?
I would say I was comfortable doing this because I knew that my income was there. My books were built. My clientele was there. I knew that my money would start coming back in.
Yes.
It's not, I mean, with your industry, it's not like always like that. Though.
No, it ain't.
So that's a risk element. But in cosmetology, there are ways to make sure that you are going to make it once you're open. Build your clientele. Don't be a baby in the industry trying to do this.
Yeah.
I would say, because you'll just get overwhelmed. If your clientele is not there, you're not going to be able to carry your team through their ups and downs. Because I have babies like working for me. Right. And I'm able to carry them through their ups and downs.
Right.
So
as they establish themselves. What you're saying is part of what helped you was that you could count on the revenue. I set myself up to make sure if it was only me in that building, I could make it. You would still be good.
Yeah, I could make it.
We've talked on this channel a lot about people. Like for me, Gwen and I didn't have any help. Everything we've put into this financially has been off our back, out of our pockets. But there are situations or circumstances where people have family and friends and people to help them get off the ground and get started. For you, was that something you utilized, or do you feel like it was important to you to do this yourself?
It was really important to me that this was like me, like my business. So it's my business.
Yeah.
But I utilized my friends and family's time. There's certain things.
Time is money.
Yeah. Time is money, literally. So I literally, and then especially in the area of like design and stuff, that's not my thing. Yeah. So I use my team. Yeah. They're so creative and design wise, they kept me like on track. Yeah. So essentially I used everyone's time. Basically, and their minds. I needed help that way. So.
But y'all, we got to get out of here. Thank you so much. Just know that we always here to educate, excite, and empower you to be the best you can be and to move towards what you want for yourself and your business. Tessa, thank you so much. Y'all, support my girl, Bloom Salon and Spa, Noonan, Georgia. Look her up. Come see her, do all the things. And until next time, y'all, see ya.